Hello and welcome back to Coin Matters channel. The Binance Bitcoin price has reached $138,000. The euro will be discussed in its digital form. Soon there will be rules and it will finally be in the clear SEC. Where will they aim next? If anything happens, I've got you covered. We'll discuss Silk Road and the process by which Bitcoin was transferred from the marketplace to external wallets. When we examine some XRP charts and discuss the magical stairs and their effect on the XRP price, will the US government dump? And we'll check out my man JD's chart, with some fibs put in to show us where our focus should be, on the accumulation ranges. As we enter this magnificent bull cycle, keep an eye out for new highs in XRP's range of possible goals. So, let's not waste any time and get started. Bitcoin's price has increased by 7.83% in the last 24 hours, reaching $28,915. The price of Ethereum has increased by $51.20, or 5.12%, to $1,819. The exchange rate for USD/USDC has not changed from 99 cents to $1. The XRP/USD pair has been trading between 0.494 and 0.495, putting up a valiant struggle against the strong resistance lines at that level. It rose by 2.25%. Bitcoin's market share currently sits at 49%, so all eyes are on it. Total cryptocurrency market valuation comes in at $1 trillion, $145 billion, $145 billion, $389 billion, $158 million, $767 million, and is expected to increase dramatically to the 50 to 60% area in the near future. What should we do now? Just do it. Eventually, the price of Bitcoin will reach $42,000. It's too late to change anything now. This train will never be derailed. Absolutely nothing. Most people just go with the flow. Just hang on and ride this wave out. Do not forget about the Discord AMA only a few hours from now, once you have finished watching this video. I will be the host. I'm in charge of it. We will soon be making two important announcements. Here's the connection. I'll also provide a link to it in the YouTube comments section. But brace yourselves. Basically, there are two major news items. Feel free to drop over and have a talk with me. Discuss XRP. We have conversations about Lux lines, NFTs, and utility workers. The focus should be there. On Binance US, the price of Bitcoin jumped to almost $138,000. Due to regulatory issues, the fatality rate on the exchange market has dropped by approximately 80% in the past month. Bitcoin's price spiked briefly to as high as $138,000 on crypto exchange Binance US this morning, but then quickly dropped back down to party with other Bitcoin spot markets after a sharp price wick on the BTC Cut Tether trading pair. All other Bitcoin trading pairs continued operating normally. Bitcoin is now trading at slightly over $29,000 on the European markets early this morning, so the rise was probably not prompted by a trader seeking to pay a 450% premium. Instead, the strange wick was probably aimed to reducing Bitcoin's liquidity when compared to Tether and Binance. According to information gathered from the US market, a Bitcoin purchase of $400,000 on this trading pair can enhance the price by 2%, whereas the same effect on a Bitcoin/US dollar trading pair would require a minimum investment of $842,000. Fascinating human beings. A Bitcoin worth $100,000. You probably believe it's funny to remark that one digital euro is underneath another. The legislation is complete, but legislators are still on the fence. There is still some political skepticism, but a plan to legislate for the central bank digital money appears to be on track for release. Doubts about its intended use. Further, it says technical specifics for a digital euro are now being ironed out by the European Central Bank, the European Central Bank, and the European Commission. However, it seems difficult to muster much enthusiasm for the central bank digital money among political decision makers. The publication of new regulations to underlie the CBDC, which propose a raft for responses to issues on privacy, offline use, and distribution, is scheduled for next week. However, although the time may be right to address technical concerns, political ones aren't. The bill, somewhat predictably, centers on the duties and responsibilities of the CBDC. To prevent the CBDC from being in direct competition with savings and investment, it is prohibited for holdings to grow too large or to earn income. Watch this closely. A vote on the digital euro SEC bill seems likely within the next week. Whose property do they plan to go after next? As the US SEC continues its crypto campaign, stablecoins DeFi are likely to be the next target. Revenue for Coinbase might be severely impacted if regulators crack down on USD Coin. There will soon be a ban on stablecoins and DeFi. The investment firm speculated that the SEC would shift its attention to ensuring the regulatory compliance of stablecoins like USDC and Tether, the two largest by market cap. Earlier this month, the SEC announced that it was filing a lawsuit against Binance, its creator, and Us for alleged violations of federal securities law. The next day, it filed a lawsuit against Coinbase for similar reasons, which is confusing given that the SEC approved Coinbase IPO. They were incredibly competent. They were aware of their methods, as well as what worked best for them, and they said nothing. But now they're saying things like, well, you're selling securities, even if they won't specify which assets are securities. What is happening on the Silk Road? Small Bitcoin transfers from a Silk Road wallet. Here it is. The United States government has thousands of Bitcoins that were confiscated from Silk Road and are still in transit. 1,500 BTC, or 1490/10s, followed by 1 BTC, or 0.1 BTC. They've taken off already. Whence do they depart? The question is whether or not they intend to dump. This is a situation that could come to pass. The United States enters the picture. The likes of BlackRock, Fidelity, and Deutsche Bank are all familiar to us. I couldn't remember who else was in there. Not a problem. However, they are attempting to acquire Bitcoin ETFs. Is it likely that people will invest in Bitcoin in this region? The US government, what if? The price of Bitcoin drops as the government approves exchange-traded funds, ETFs, and investors' friends and bailout pals decide to buy in at the lower price. This may happen with ETFs. Just one more dip before the moonshot crowd shows up. I expect the low to occur in the fall, and the bull market to gain steam in November and continue well into 2024. As we near the dividing line, there's a real chance of that happening here. Dr. Fender publishes this, in which he discusses the enchanted staircase. A worthy focus of your attention. This is the path to fulfillment. Let me detonate this. Those watching the TV should initially rest sometime around the 90-cent mark. The second stop would take us to around $1.90, and the third would take us to around $3.40, XRP's all-time high. This is the scenario he is witnessing. These graphs are telling him just that. Excellent at projecting where these digital currencies are going. People have complained that you constantly presenting these graphs with no results. The patterns in these charts don't emerge instantly. The time periods at the bottom aren't to scale, so don't worry about them. However, what we actually do is study the graphs. Past patterns serve as our guide. We contrast those trends with the current vogue. We can observe the dynamics of the price change and, by superimposing it, estimate what the future may hold for XRP. You know what else? 9,095% of the time, if you take a step back and look at the big picture, you'll see that my Bitcoin analysis on TikTok from November 2013 through 2022 was spot accurate. What do we see now, and what are we looking at now? Every November since 2012, we've seen each other as my dog goes crazy in the background. The price of Bitcoin has begun its ascent since last November. And that upward trend over the past decade showed us how the apexes and price points for Bitcoin and everything else had played out over a decade of data. Yes, I did some comparing. According to JD, some opinion leaders spend months discussing the new global currency or studying phenomenon X. Have a look at this graph I made. Avoid wasting time. Before we break this bullish trend and send XRP soaring, we may need to go back to where he urged you to fill up in his orange box. That's going to the moon. Do you really believe that red line will remain stable indefinitely? This new graph displays the rising popularity of XRP. Bitcoin's domination has recently taken off and is moving in its own direction. After that, XRP will begin to distance itself from Bitcoin's hegemony. When XRP finally becomes the basic pair on the exchanges, as we discussed in today's first video, what will cause people to abandon Bitcoin as their preferred cryptocurrency? There will be a deluge of capital pouring into XRP. As more users join the network, more exchanges in the United States will begin trading XRP, and more established financial institutions will follow suit. Egret Crypto released a chart, so keep that in mind. When his predictions come true, you pay either $10 or $124. There were consistent patterns. The action was visible. 2, 1. Once we break back above the previous high, the ones and twos will be in sight. It's a certainty. Because crypto markets are still in their infancy, there is currently just $1 trillion. That's peanuts in terms of the stock market. They estimate that it will be more than $10 trillion. It's matured to its full potential. The current scene, what is it? The SEC is becoming more stringent. What good will that do? These exchanges' hands will be forced to join the club and play by the rules. The fog is about to lift. It will become clear to us which items are marketable and which are not. As Brad has been saying for the past 5 years, the vast majority of cryptocurrencies will eventually be abandoned. The entry of major investors is becoming noticeable. Institutions are starting to join, which means an influx of megafunds that will leave ours in the dust. Where do you think the institutions will take it if the public pumped it to $2.7 trillion? They're finally going to get there, and soon NASDAQ will be trading cryptocurrency. Schwab reportedly just joined the team and started offering services through Fidelity Exchange. German bank. The world's biggest companies are rapidly moving into the crypto space. And that's how we get to the Holy Grail, where XRP breaks through to new all-time highs. Keep it in mind. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.